Merry me all. I want to start sharing my routine with my ducks, and there's a lot every day, lot in a day, and every day of the week. So I'm going to do a whole lot of recordings, and I'll basically label what they are in accordance to the day. So it is now, what time? Wow, 9:30. Well, sleepy time. Look at Bella's head's all buffy. They're all getting sleepy. She always tips over the bucket of water. It's like she thinks she's still swimming out of the bathtub. So I'll wait till they all settle down a little bit more, and then I'll top it up with fresh water when she's not in the mood for swimming in a bucket. So that way they've got water there when they go to sleep. And the boys in their separate crib, so there's no nookie in the middle of the night. The girls need their beauty sleep, and they've got a little bucket of water there. Yeah. So basically, oh, Suna, your little face is so gorgeous. Yeah. There's something extra about Suna. She's disabled, but there's just, I don't know, something extra about her. Look at Bella, she's all buffy. So they've all come out of their warm bath for the night. And basically, oh, we don't like the camera still. My days. You're going to have to camouflage the camera. Maybe I'll camouflage it as a big noodle. A big pasta noodle. They love pasta noodles. The pen is their favourite. Maybe I disguise it as a big pasta. That would be so scared of it. Or a dandelion leaf. They love dandelions. So do I. So anyway, so after their bath every night, I basically, so at this point of time, because I'm not letting Freya be with the boys, and the two girls, Suna and Luca, the two Pekings, they're quite small. On days where it's really cloudy and the weather's quite weird, it's easier for predator birds to sneak up on my babies, and Luca and Suna are the smallest next to Freya. And Suna being disabled, she's not able to run that well. So with those two, I still like to keep them out, like I put them in the run with Freya, you know, closed off from everyone else. They can still see each other, talk to each other, but the boys can't jump in there until all the Freya's feathers heals back. They're basically isolated like that. So on a day like today, I put both the Pekings in there with Freya. On a not so cloudy day, I'll just have Suna in there with Freya or Luca, sort of like take turns. So Suna has a chance to exercise her disabled leg and get into the wild greens as well. And anyway, so because of that, I actually bring in the girls that have been isolated or in the isolation run, basically Freya and whoever is with her on the day, into a warm bath. Then I clean out the back. So basically what I do is I take out their water buckets, the feeding troughs. Basically I just use large saucers from pots. I find them to be the best when it comes to the dry food. I empty out all their water troughs, bar the big pool. That takes half a day to empty that one. So I pretty much empty everything except for, you know, there's like an equivalent of a bucket like this, a metal bucket out there, so the others can drink, you know, between that time and coming in. So I empty all that out, and then I come back in and I give the girls a snack in the tub, and then I dry them off. I'll basically pick them up, wrap them in a towel, pat the towel, and then take them one by one into the beds. And then not long after, I'll go and get the rest of the ducks. So whoever's left. So there's usually 5 to 6 depending on who's with Freya on the day. Of course, I have less to do. I mean, you know, not making as many trips if Freya's with everybody else and there's no need to isolate. But I think it's worthwhile if you're looking at keeping domestic ducks as pets, that you bank your time for at least one always being injured or brooding or, you know, anything like that. So that way when it happens, it's really difficult when you've got so many things to juggle. But at least you'll be realistic with your time management if you are aware that there's always going to be someone that's, you know, sprained wing, sprained foot, brooding, you know, has to recover their feathers or whatever from the boys, or, you know, just, or, you know, one has a bumblefoot, or there's always just something, because they're just klutzy. They don't get diseases like chooks do. They're so good with their cleansingness and health, but they will, you know, run into physical injuries just because of how they are. They're just little hobbits with feathers who pretty much walk around like they're drunk. So they're good in the water, not so good on land. So anyway, so after I bring in the rest and they have a swim and I give them a little bit of snack in the tub too, usually rolled oats, I dry them off and then put them to bed, as you just saw before. And then what I put into the tub next before I empty the tub of water is the buckets of water and the saucers that had their food in it from during the day. And I just let them soak in there. And then, you know, when I'm ready, probably do the dishes or whatever it is. And a bit later, probably usually about an hour or so later, I just clean out the buckets and the saucers. And I don't just empty the tub. I actually, this is so old. I actually think it's like 15 or so years old, this bucket. It's an old protein powder from when I used to have protein powder that wasn't vegan. And oh my god, it always made me bloat. It's because of the lactose. But, you know, that's a long time. Probably even longer than that. And it's amazing how the label's still on it. It's like plastic plastered on or something. But anyway, so I just use this bucket to pretty much empty out probably at least half to 2/3. And I basically tip that water out into the garden at the front, which is dark at night. Less chances of the creep across the road seeing me or trying to interact. And then whatever's left in the tub water-wise, I pull the plug. I would like to get myself sorted with really good siphons. I've got a siphon for my aquariums, but I mean like a siphon which you could literally run 3 or 4 meters and hook up to a tap. I just need to get my hands on that. I also would like something like that for the pool, because that will just make the big empty clean out that I do a lot easier. I'll do some posts on how I manage the water of the pool without using a filter. But anyway, so this is pretty much my routine at night. I will show parts of that whole routine in different recordings, but I guess I'll just sum it up now. This is pretty much my routine now at Autumns Lugh. We get in a little bit earlier in winter because there's less daylight, so it gets darker earlier. So, you know, I'd be doing all this around, so it wouldn't be 9:30 now, it'd be like 7:38 because it starts getting dark at 5:30, 5 o'clock, when it's really cold, when it's right in winter. So I have to be flexible with that. I want my birds getting up when it's day and, you know, coming in as soon as it starts getting dark, you know. For obvious reasons. It's also their signal for, hey, it's sleepy time, it's time to go inside. But anyway, so yeah, so I bring in some of the ducks if they're being isolated, like Freya and whoever's being with her that day, so she's not lonely. Never isolate a duck on her own. Even if she can see the other ducks, she needs someone else in there with her. They're very social creatures. So whoever is being isolated and their companion for the day comes in for their bath. I then empty out summarising, I empty out the waters and the troughs, the buckets, the feed plates. If I do find there's extra feed in any of the plates, I put it in the chicken run, and Bridget is more than happy to also finish off whatever's been left over from the ducks. She will never turn down food. It's just ridiculous, that chicken. That hen, she's just funny. Bring them in, put them to bed. The bed's cleaned every morning. And that hay and bedding goes straight into my garden to build up garden beds, which I'll do a post on. Basically, I don't buy soil. I don't need to. I use my dog's bedding, sawdust and compressed straw with whatever muck they leave in there, which is not like heaps and heaps, but is a little bit here and there scattered through it. Where am I up to? I'll type this out. So yeah, they go into their fresh bed. Then soon after, the rest of the ducks come running through the hallway into here. I top up a little bit of warm water if I need to in the tub. They all jump in, have a play. I play with them, give them a snack. Then when they're done, I one at a time to dry them off, put them in their fresh beds also, the boys separate. And then I go and get those saucers and, water troughs, water buckets. I have quite a few water buckets scattered throughout the yard. There's heaps of drinking holes everywhere. I'll get into that another day. I did a recording on it ages ago. I'll do another one soon. So I throw them into the tub to soak and clean. I find it's better to clean things on a daily basis instead of cleaning it like a month later when everything's caked on mud and it just becomes too much of a chore. And then after, that's soaked for at least a couple of hours, an hour or two, I then use that water into the garden. Then I clean those to finish off, let them dry out throughout the night, and I pull the plug on the tub when I've taken out as much as I can into my garden. And that's every night. And then in the morning it starts again. So my life pretty much revolves around feathers, and I like it. Some people have human children. I've got bird children. Of course, I would have loved to have had my own children. I never met the right guy. I'm not going to settle for an idiot. And it probably doesn't help that I'm a nerd. I like to be at home reading a book, researching, and I don't like the games that people play when they're dating. I don't have time for that bullshit. I like being genuine and genuine connections, whether it's your partner or just people every day. I don't like the falseness and the fakery, and this is probably why I prefer to be with my birds. I couldn't be bothered. I wouldn't have done even an iota of what I've done in life if I got swept away and bothered with all that and thought that, my life is nothing without this. No, I digress a little bit here, but I think your life should be amazing, and then whoever is in it is like the icing on the cake. I think you should try and accrue an amazing life first before hooking up. I think it's backwards, hooking up and then having amazing life. People can definitely add to your life, but I think the reason why the world is the way it is today, because we're looking at my dirty buckets here, as they say, but I think the way the world is like the way it is today is because people are so obsessed with consuming energy from other people and manipulating others, and they don't create their best life. They try to find other people to help them be in the best life or cultivate the best life. And for me personally, as a young child, I just saw that as plain out prostitution. Sorry. It's I don't like it. Never have. Probably where I'm now, but I don't go out. I prefer books. So what do? And the nerdy clubs are very far and few between. They've all been infiltrated with degenerate shit and political bullshit, and I couldn't. To me, they're all shades of communism that I will never tolerate or stand for. I don't give a shit. The whole world is falling for it and swallowing it hook, line, and sinker. I will not. Even if I'm the last person, I will not do it. I will not be forced. I will not comply. Anyway, that's it from me. Why did I go there? How did I go there? Yeah, because my life revolves around my feathers. So my birds do so much for the environment. They do much for the earth. They do so much for the soil. They're just amazing. I find it to be a great privilege to be able to be their custodian and to look after them to the best of my abilities and to give them the love and the support and the protection they need. And I will do so until their last little breaths. They live up to 20 years when they're healthy. And yeah, so anyway, so that's, my life. I think if you're someone who is mature, and especially if you no longer have to do the 9 to 5 grind, or you work for yourself, you can work from home, you're a creative and artistic person, and you don't have, responsibility with children, human children, I think having domestic ducks, pet ducks, as your little family, I think there's almost nothing better, especially if you love the whole lifestyle of living in the earth, with the earth, for the earth, and being connected to her all the time as a mother she is, then I think the ducks are just another world. You end up being drawn into their world. And I've always been very close to, in, and having nature in me. But the amount of joy I have from my birds, and I mean, it's hard work, and I'm disabled. Right now I'm in agony. My ankles are really sore. I've got tendinopathy in both Achilles heels, or Achilles tendinopathy, because I haven't been doing the physical rehab I have to do every day for the rest of my life with my hips and gait. One's not meant to survive what I went through, and the consequence of that is a daily ball and chain of things I've got to do, and I don't do it. Not because I'm lazy, because I'll get carried away with doing everything else. Then I start getting issues everywhere else in referral conditions and pains, and so I'm in pain right now. I've still got a lot of shit to do, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And of course, I'm going to be better in looking after myself. I started chipping away at that again and reincorporating that back as a habit. Because if I'm not well, or if I'm not healthy, even though I'm disabled, if I'm not in a stable set, then I'm going to be limited and probably going to impact my birds adversely in my ability to do things that, one would take for granted. So especially if you're looking at any little bit of garden, if you're a gardener, birds, ducks, domestic ducks, I would actually choose domestic ducks over chickens any day if you're a gardener. The chickens will pretty much rip up your garden. They get to those root bulbs and they rip up the plants. Ducks do not do that. I mean, if there's succulents, your succulents are gone. You need to fence those off, or if there's salad greens, they're gone. But that's quite easy to do a low fence. The chooks, they will jump that. They will pole vault and jump into that veggie patch and destroy everything within 10 minutes. Half an hour max, it's gone. 4 meter square patch, it's gone. Those chooks will rip it to pieces. So ducks, better manure, nitrogen, potassium, but it's I can always say this back to front, NKP or NPK ratio. I always get it back to front. So I think as well as I get tired, my dyslexic mind. Sometimes I say KPN. It feels better to say KPN, but it's not that way anyway. I digress. So the manure is better. There's no withholding. It pretty much disintegrates in the earth straight away. There's no die-off with chooks wherever their run is. Everything's dead. You know, with ducks you don't have that burn. And the ducks will eat any pest. The bugs that are pest, they will be on top of those cabbage loppers, snails, slugs. They're gone. No pesticides. That's what the duck army's for. Anyway, blessed be Mary Part. If you don't have domestic ducks as pets in your life, and you don't have children, and you are trying to get your gardening going, you're trying to give back to the earth and regenerate, and you're a creative person or artistic, then your life will just feel so much more complete having these critters in your life, because it's literally like, if you, like again with the gardening, it's literally like having an army of little tiny horticulturalists with you. Horticulture means cult of the soil digger. That's all the duckies do with their little soft beaks. You know, put little holes, they aerate the soil. They're just amazing, and they help you generate all the soil. And then there's their bedding. So if gardening, you want to get that gardening going, get yourself a little tiny brood of family that you can love and look after, of little duckies, and there'll be a little team of horticulturalists, and all they want to do is play in mud and eat dirt and play with dirt and play in the water and cuddles. That's it. Pretty simple, really. Anyway, blessed be Mary again. Bye. And anyway, I don't know what part of my daily grind of the ducks I'll record next, but it will come, and I'll try and do some sort of order and break it down, and in my mind I'm trying to map it out now. Now I am rambling because I need a cup of tea and to get off these cuggos and put something comfy on and get ready to wind down for the night. Blessed be, and Mary Pat.